What's going on, guys? I don't like that. It's too much energy. What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to use my new titanium 125 welder to make myself a 2-foot by 8-foot fab table. I'm really excited about this project. Check it out. I wanted to simplify my design as much as possible, so I use only two different types of steel. The first being 2-inch by 2-inch, 1/8-inch thick angle iron for the legs and all the supports. And then the top is 3/16. There's nothing complicated about making this table. I'm just going to miter some pieces and weld them into a rectangle, use the same angle iron to make some legs, and then add a 3/16 tabletop to it. And that's really the whole design. There's nothing to it. We now have all of our pieces cut, the hardest of course being the 8-foot rip I had to do across the 3/16 sheet. Used 4 cutoff discs in the process. But I think we're ready to go with the titanium welder. Now I did use my stick welder to weld this piston on, so I had something to hold on to with the cherry picker while I was moving this sheet around. It's kind of a pain, but we're going to cut these welds off, and everything else I'm going to do with the titanium welder, and we're going to see how it does. You know, this thing really does weld nice. I could get used to this welder, honestly. One of the troubles with steel is transporting it. It's easy for it to hold its shape if you bend it. And so in this particular case, I already checked the actual plate, which is straight, and this is obviously not. It's got a serious bow because it's tacked in both corners. It's actually over 1/4 out. But don't worry, not only does steel hold its shape when you bend it, but it will also hold its shape if you bend it back. Very nice. Perfect. So I added a backsplash here, and rather than ripping it out of the same material as the tabletop, I just went and got some flat bar, just 2 sticks at 4 feet. I think this is going to work perfect, so when I drop a screw, it's not going to immediately fall behind the workbench. I love it. I ended up just repurposing this drawer from my old workbench. I passionately hated that old workbench, but I would have to make a drawer anyway if I wanted one for this, so I figured I would just paint this one and put new sliders on it, and it would all work out fine. Fortunately, 100-pound sliders only ended up costing me about 13 bucks, so a little bit of paint, a little bit of elbow grease, and finding some place to mount the rails, this thing actually worked out great. And I think this new coat of paint completely revitalizes this drawer. It's going to make it forget about its old home in that awful, awful workbench I used to have. I am really thrilled about this. So I actually have pretty good electrical power down here, but I wanted to expand that a little bit. I have this huge power bank, which is awesome, 20 amps, but I wanted it out of the way. I see a lot of people mount them to the front. That's really not where I want it because that's going to be in the way a lot. So I just made tabs, and you can click this up in here. I'm still going to have to zip tie it or do something to fasten it so it doesn't move, but it's perfect and it's removable, which I don't know if you guys have ever used power strips before. They don't last forever. So hopefully this is going to work out great. I think it's pretty good. I'm real happy with that. So my all-in cost to build this workbench is about 350 bucks. So I wasn't going to build a workbench. I was just going to buy one. I told myself I didn't have time to make one, but the timing kind of lined up perfectly where I had just got this welder. And I thought, you know, why don't I just get a steel quote and see how much it would cost to make this? So this steel with a bunch of extras for other projects was like 375 bucks, which is about the going rate for a workbench half this size that doesn't have a steel top. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me to get this video out of the way so I can do an actual project with this welder and have a real solid workbench. So I'm super thrilled with this. In conclusion, I'm extremely happy with this table. I know there's going to be plenty of people to nitpick, but ultimately it's in my garage, not yours. So don't worry about it too much. On the side of the welder, It was a little bit more money than I wanted to spend for another 125 amp welder. It's not like there's not a million of those lying around everywhere. But without getting too deep, because I want to do a separate review on that welder, I think that Harbor Freight may have accidentally made a real welder. It's not bad. I'm really excited to have that welder around, honestly. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And thanks always for doing your part to help make this world a strange place. Strange, right?